Yeah, let's have a look at the newspapers and see what they've got for you today. The Guardian says Tory MP Neil Parish faces an inquiry over the claims that he watched pornography in the House of Commons.
The Telegraph says Mr Parish has refused to quit after he lost the Conservative whip, with the Prime Minister being pressured to ask him to resign.
Tory MPs urging the MP for Tiverton and Honiton to quit now. They fear he will damage the party in the local elections. That's in the Times.
The Mail says police have been told to investigate Labour's lies over the Beergate party. The paper reports cabinet ministers have joined calls for a new probe into the so-called scandal engulfing Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner.
Oh, it's scandal, scandal, scandal. Let's talk to broadcaster Pete Price and anthropologist Mary-Ann Ochota. We're going to take us through the papers. Morning, both.
Morning.
Good to see you, looking spectacular.
I loved what you said about the sheets, by the way, getting away from the papers. I iron my sheets on my bed every day of my life because I always feel like when I'm getting to a bed, I'm Jane Russell and it's all crispy and... So, just thought I'd tell you.
So, Jane Russell moment.
Never ironed a bedsheet in my life.
Neither.
Never will.
No,
life is
neither.
too short, Pete. Come on.
Well, I could not get into a bed with unironed sheets.
Oh, never. And I iron my underpants as well.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's well, there you go.
This is Irongate.
It is Irongate.
What's happening?
Mary-Ann, Telegraph, yes. Neil Parish.
Yes. So, I don't know, you might have missed this story. First of all, the name of this MP who was under these allegations wasn't disclosed. Now we know who it is. It's Neil Parish, the MP for Tiverton and Honiton. He wasn't going to have the whip withdrawn, which basically means that he still had his party's support. And then it turns out the whip was withdrawn a bit late in the day, let's be honest. There's speculation over whether he was showing other people the material on his phone intentionally, whether he just happened to be having a look. Now there's the suggestion maybe it was just on his phone, perfectly legitimate, it's not illegal content or anything like that, and he just accidentally pressed the wrong button, and there it was playing in the House of Commons. Well. Some people will say, let the investigation, within the parliamentary standards committees and whatnot, let that run its course, then everyone can make a decision. I think the reality is that this will be the thing that everybody is talking about on doorsteps up and down the country when, the Conservative Party person knocks on your door. You're probably either going to be talking about the cost of living crisis, Partygate and the fact that Boris is a liar, or the fact that MPs watch porn in the House of Commons. And what depths we are falling to in this country. It's just depressing.
It does feel depressing,
It is.
doesn't it?
I think it's dreadful. I think it's dreadful that you'd even contemplate something like that. By the way, we're paying for him to be in the House of Commons, while he's watching porn. But I don't see there's any investigation. You watch porn, he watch porn.
But maybe someone sent him a WhatsApp image and he just happened to click on it and there it is up on his phone.
Then I stand corrected. That's a very interesting point. That's an interesting point. What I can't understand is why they're not doing their work while they're in there. They know they're on camera, they know people are seeing them, and they know right now everyone's waiting to have a go,
Yeah.
Although it is a form of communication, and, I can imagine quite rightly that MPs are constantly monitoring if an email's coming up or something like that. Maybe it's something they need to know. You click on it. Yep. Could it have been an accident?
An accident, yeah.
No. Come on. There's more than one
That's a definite no.
who has enough time to, they're not, I'm not, leaning over seeing what you're doing. It needs to be quite conspicuous for anyone to notice what anyone is doing on another phone, a device. And I mean, it's one of those things where this is the way that this Tory party runs. They kind of seed the suggestion that maybe there's a perfectly legitimate excuse and everyone's jumping the gun. And you kind of think, come on, common sense tells me that if you're sitting about with a suitcase full of booze, you're having a party. Something tells me if you're sitting there with something on your smartphone long enough that your colleagues around you, it's a place of work, can see what you're watching.
You
didn't accidentally clock it.
There is a new screen
now.
cover, by the way, that you can't see somebody else's phone, which I've got one, and it's tremendous regardless of that.
Yeah,
so I cannot see what you are looking at on your phone. It's tremendous. It's great... Every phone should have one.
Even if you've got one of those, though, don't be watching porn
no,
at work.
totally.
Yeah. You're at work.
Yeah.
But you say
free time.
But you say it's the depths the Tory party has gone to, and if you've got a case full of booze, it's a party. Well, if you've got a load of beer, then it's a party as well, isn't it? If we look at the Mail...
Yep.
And the whole Beergate thing in the Labour Party.
And the thing that makes me cross about this Beergate thing with Keir Starmer and Angela Rayner is, fine, without getting into politics, what's good for one is good for the other. I mean, he is like a dog with a bone. He will not leave it, and rightly so.
You mean Keir Starmer?
Yes, Keir Starmer, and rightly so. But now he has got to be investigated. And now on Twitter, they'll all be saying, Tory this, Tory that. That's me. I'm not. It doesn't matter what my politics is. It's the fact of people lying. As you said before, it's getting crazy. These are people that are supposed to be running the country, and it's all falling apart. It's absolutely falling apart.
I think this is smear, this Keir Starmer thing, because it's been investigated by the police to the point that they decided there was no case to be pursued.
But wasn't that with the Tory party? Wasn't that being investigated by the police? And there was no... but they went on and on.
Well, no, that's exactly untrue.
So you don't think it should be investigated?
They were, but the thing is about the Tory party is there's 50 fines that have been issued. Those fines are issued on the basis that they were flagrant breaches of the most serious kind. That was the description of... And they were just the ones to reach the threshold of being investigated. At the point you're issued a fine, you have guilty.
So do you not want them investigated? Do you not, Keir Starmer?
Do you not think it's fair that Keir Starmer's Beergate?
Yeah, I certainly think that the police should look into it, but the police already have. The only thing that's different about this and the story that the Mail is running is this revelation that Angela Rayner was also in the room.
Well,
but
they lied. They said she wasn't in the room.
They denied that she was.
But that doesn't...
why lie?
So for arguments, to represent the story correctly, I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just saying what it says in the Mail, and they've done their due diligence and checked it with their legal team or whatnot. It says it was a genuine mistake. Whoever said that she wasn't there, turns out actually she was. But the principles of the number of people in the room, the reason why they were in the room... all that hasn't changed.
Sounds very similar to me to the birthday bash.
A birthday party?
Yeah, but it wasn't, was it? It wasn't a party.
It was a party.
It was people gathering.
Was there.
It was people gathering. Yes, but that's where they live.
But not in the room where you're having a work meeting. When I have a work meeting at home, my husband, the kids and the birthday cake...
So Keir Starmer swigging from a bottle of beer, Angela Rayner in the same room, people around also doing that.
Well,
apparently,
together,
allegedly
yes.
A birthday cake there as well, or a cake. That's not the same.
No, because they work together.
Well, so...
He doesn't work with his wife or his interior decorator who's choosing wallpaper, who should be... if she's working, she should be upstairs doing the wallpaper. Not downstairs chumming around with the Prime Minister when he's supposed to be at work. That is fundamentally a difference.
So she couldn't have just walked in the room, pick up a paintbrush and gone, I'll have a drink while I'm here, and then go back up. I mean, it's nitpicking,
why is she there?
but it's nitpicking.
It is nitpicking, isn't it?
The rules. He's the Prime Minister.
And so has Keir Starmer broken the rules.
Boris Becker has just gone to prison for 2.5 years for breaking the law, and yet the leader of our country, the person who represents us, all our interests, the people who are now struggling at home to work out how they're going to get through a long weekend and feed the kids, those people are paying that man's salary.
So
and he flagrantly has broken the law.
You're comparing him with Boris Becker?
I'm comparing him with any other criminal.
So if he parks on double yellow lines, he should be sacked, because that's a criminal offence.
If you do it flagrantly, if you do it more than once, if you do it with full disregard for all the people who put you in office, yes. Because don't forget, there's hundreds of thousands of families, people watching this now, who had to sit at home knowing that a loved one was dying alone or suffering alone while he was having a party.
And there was hundreds of thousands of people watching now, blatantly broke the law, blatantly through lockdown. Blatantly.
But we don't applaud that.
But we're not applauding that.
But
there are people who murder people, but we're not going, oh, well, they did it, so it's all right. This is the Prime Minister of the country. The fact that we're having this...
and the
leader in waiting has just done the same thing.
Keir Starmer's the man who wants to be Prime Minister.
But no one has suggested that he broke the law.
Well, they have.
Boris Johnson... OK, they've suggested it, but he hasn't been found to have broken the law. Boris Johnson has broken the law. The police have decided. He's been issued a fine.
But can't you
that
understand
he's
them
paid.
feeling aggrieved? People like Rishi Sunak feeling very aggrieved because he just turned up to a meeting early and found that there was a birthday cake and various other things. Can't you understand them feeling aggrieved that Beergate is not being investigated?
It's been investigated to the point that they've decided there are no.
And that was the
charges
same with
to
Number
pursue.
10. The Met,
And they went
the Met
on
first
and
of all
on
looked
and
at
on.
it. Yeah, and it's only because it's in London and it is Number 10, the home of government. But
because there was evidence of serious
once
flagrant
investigated,
breaches.
yes. Do you not
that
think
are
that
beyond-
Beergate should also be as similarly investigated?
Yes, I do.
Right.
So we agree on that one. We agree on that
something.
bit.
I'll tell you what then we'll look at now. Just to change the tone, to make it very light-hearted.
Yeah.
In the Star, mother-in-law.
Yep.
Pete, you've got to be nice to the mother-in-law.
How can... Well, first of all, why is the Pope getting involved with mother-in-laws? That I find amazing. Great story. The greatest comic, Les Dawson, wouldn't have had an act without a mother-in-law.
No, he wouldn't.
No.
I, as a comic, used to wear a magnificent ring, a diamond ring, and I used to say, "Do you like the ring?" That was my mother-in-law. She said to me, "Here's £5,000. When I die, get me a nice stone." I thought, why wait? That was the gag I used to do. But they are the backbone of every marriage. But if you marry into the possessive mother-in-law with the son, and the possessive mother-in-law with the daughter, you've got war in there. But you're the backbone, ladies, wherever you are.
Do you think the dragon mother-in-law is a real person?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or have we just made her up
Yeah.
along the years?
Oh, yes. I know two. I'll name them.
No.
No.
What about your mother-in-law?
Fantastic woman. I love her.
You see,
See, mine
good.
was too.
I'm
was
really
brilliant.
grateful.
That saved a lot of hassle.
I think that it can make a real difference to the, to the quality of your relationship with your partner, because if you've got this kind of element that is not saying it's all from the mother-in-law, it might be your partner. It might just be the whole family dynamic. But if you get on, it makes life a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
But I do think they are vilified. I think fundamentally, I know I'm going to bring it on a bit of a downer again, it's part of society's misogyny.
Oh, come on. Some
No, it is,
mother-in-laws
because-
are horrific.
Yeah, but we never say it about fathers,
but
do
there's
we?
there's not this kind of trope of the villain. You know, it goes along with the evil mother-in-law, the evil stepmother,
Yes. Yeah.
murdering children, being nasty and horrible, and you kind of think...
But that goes back centuries.
But we're doing such a disservice to women who work incredibly hard for their
A
families.
lot of families wouldn't
Impressive.
survive without mother-in-laws, for
No, we wouldn't,
babysitting,
yeah.
for getting shopping, and they're joking apart. They are the backbone of an
just-
awful
Well,
lot of
Sava says, morning to you, Sava says, I have the most wonderful relationship with my mother-in-law. She's my best friend, my confidant, and best nanny to my
There you
daughter.
go.
So there you go. So that's nice. But
That's nice.
But why the Pope is talking about it, we can't figure it out.
maybe
The
he
Pope-
hasn't even got
the
a
Pope hasn't-
mother-in-law.
maybe he's thinking
Maybe he
of
wants
changing his
one.
job.
He has said, and I think he put it beautifully, he said, remember, your mother-in-law is the mother of the person you love. And so be nice to her. It helps things go along. I think that's
That's a
rather...
fair point.
That's a
Fair
lovely
point.
way to finish. I
It
presume
is.
we're finished.
We're finished.
Yes.
Get out. Get out. Take your diamonds with you. Pete Price, Mary-Ann Ochota, thank you both very much indeed. We'll see you later on.